Bonjour everybody, welcome back to the White Walkers. We have the final of the Northampton Store Championship for you today.
Woo-woo!
I am joined by Rebecca Gillard.
Hi.
And of course, I am Richard Walker.
Of course.
Now, we brought you a very, very special game. I know what you're all thinking. You've all been thinking, what I really want to see is Greyjoy Sea of Blood against Greyjoy Sea of Blood.
Oh, yeah.
Because you haven't had enough of this matchup yet in your lives. And I'm sure you're not sick to the back teeth of seeing Greyjoys. Blood on Greyjoys. Pretty grim, huh?
Yeah.
Exactly, that's how I feel about this matchup. But
I'd like to point out something else that's pretty grim.
What's that?
What the heck happened with Joe's setup? This is after Mulligan, obviously.
Oh, wow, that's amazingly bad.
Yeah. I mean, at least he got 4 cards out.
Congratulations on Ben on winning this game. I can't see Ben's setup because glare.
He's got a damp hair, and then a iron fishmonger.
Looks like he's got a Theon, and he's probably got economy and a boat.
Yeah, I think it's a Great Hall and a 9 Fleet Scout. Whereas poor Joe, after his Mulligan, has set up an Iron Islands fishmonger, a 9 mines, a sea tower, and an Iron Fleet Scout, I believe. So that's a 2 gold setup, which is pretty darn shit.
Any consolation for Joe is that Ben doesn't really have much of a military presence. Theon's not going to be triggering the Sea of Blood, which may give Joe some time to fight back into this game.
He's got a little bit of economy to help him. He's got 9 mines there, so it's going to help him with the matchup. But Ben here is going first and has played out another Great Hall. So he does have quite a bit of economy here to help him out. Joe opened with Late Summer Feast, and if I remember correctly, Ben opened with Trading with the Pentoshi. So Ben got a slight advantage there in the initiative, which has allowed him to go first. And of course, in a Sea of Blood deck, that's kind of what you want. He has also set up now with Asher, or marshalled Asher even, and a boat. Which one is that?
That's the raiding longship.
Raiding long? Oh, wow. So characters without attachments can be taken out of the challenge. And also playing a Salty Navigator there, which is, again, really good in this matchup. They've probably got really similar plots. And that Salty Navigator is going to give them a bit of a boost on the initiative there to try and win.
I've seen Sea of Blood against Sea of Blood, both opening plots like Forced March at the same time. That's going to give Ben the advantage in any plot that they flip at the same time. So Joe really needs to get a stealth character out.
Asher seems like a good shout.
Joe's got a stealth character. Yeah, that's really important because with Asher and Theon both having stealth, along with Damp Hair as well, having stealth in the power challenge, Joe needs a way to give his own characters
stealth.
That keyword.
So at least he's got a Great Hall out as well. So again, a bit of extra economy. And we've got a Lord Sport
Shipwright.
Shipwright, yeah.
Going to kneel that.
Raiding Longship seems like a good shout.
That may prevent the Sea of Blood trigger.
But I must say, Ben's board is looking a lot stronger than Joe's. He's got 6-7 gold left still, though, so he might be able to get out another big character. Might be that he's got a Balon, maybe a Euron or something. That might be good. But I guess the risk is that Ben will just kill him straight away.
Well, shouldn't be able to. Because Asher's going to give it stealth.
True. Oh,
there you go.
Balon.
Joe now
saving one.
Has, technically, more military strength on the board. Theon has 2, Asher has 5, and the Navigator has 2. That is 9 on Ben's side. Joe has 10 strength military. However, Ben had the Giant Fleet Scout. Boosty boat. That's it.
Booster boats are the way forward.
Will Ben commit everything?
I doubt it. He leaves himself open on the comeback.
Only if Joe doesn't block with everything. Which means Ben gets Sea of Blood off.
So just having a little poke there with the free power challenge. Joe was very unlikely to defend that, and just means that Ben gets an unopposed.
So what Ben could do, he could go in with everything if he wanted, which will make it, here he is, So 9 strength, he can boost to 11. It forces Joe, he has to kneel both to stop the trigger. He'll lose a chud for claim.
But it's better than getting that Sea of Blood trigger off.
Yeah, so, I mean, Joe can get to 11 as well because he's got his own boat. So, but Ben will still win the challenge. But if Joe doesn't kneel both, this essentially means that Ben gets Sea of Blood off.
I guess it depends on how much he wants to get the Sea of Blood off.
You want to get the Sea of Blood off.
Apparently so. So he's just blocking it, maybe, to stop the unopposed? Or not?
You've got to weigh up. If Ben has put to the sword in hand, Balon's dead.
Maybe.
If Ben has put to the torch in hand, Balon's dead.
Yeah, I think he'd need one of them, wouldn't he?
Yeah, because he can tutor the other one, which blows up the Iron Mine and blows up Balon. And then he's hoping Joe doesn't have risen from the sea.
And even if he does, it's wasting 2 saves on Joe's side there, on Iron Mines and the Risen.
It is blowing through the resources. However, if this means Joe can get Balon and keep him alive and get his own Sea of Blood trigger off, that could be equally impactful.
If he can.
So this is quite fascinating. A lot of Sea of Blood decks seem to revolve around turn 1. If you can get it turn 1, you're in a very commanding position. Ben actually gets risen from the sea.
Possibly because Joe has left Balon standing and Ben knows he's going to get that military coming back.
I agree. I think that's a clever choice. He does
but
have torch in the hand. Well, that is interesting.
Oh, crap. Whoa. So he already had put to the torch and put to the sword in hand. That's lucky. That's really lucky.
What's lucky?
Having those 2 cards already in hand, so he
that
can go and
why
get himself
he
a risen.
overcommitted. Because if Joe fully kneels out to defend, he still suffered the claim. And then he just move on to the next round, right?
So Joe forgot to take actual military claim here, but he does remember in a minute.
That's good.
Yeah. It could be a little bit awkward otherwise. Yeah, there we go. Well, I say he remembers. I'm actually watching the game IRL, and I was like, Joe, you didn't take actual claim. And he was like, oh shit. No one will notice.
Joe's going to trigger the blood. What we get. Got gold, he could do the sword, but we know Ben has risen from the sea. And the second Joe only committed 1 person on defence. Ben knew he needed to get the rhythm from the sea.
Looks like Joe's going for the same thing. Also taking a risen there.
They're both hell-bent on keeping their characters on the board.
Seems like a good shout. That's obviously one of the good things about Greyjoy Sea of Blood is you do have a lot of saves if you do come up against another Sea of Blood.
Tutorable save in this instance. But it's interesting we have the dynamic of they both know they've got saves now.
Hello. So we're going to attempt to put anyway. And just getting a risen there.
Who got... who's the target? Is that Aaron?
It might be Aaron, don't
It is Aaron, yeah. I was going to say, if you can let someone else die, Aaron will bring them back because Ben will win Dom.
Yeah.
Did
So
Ben
Ben, they're
draw from
taking...
Late Summer Feast?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so it's interesting that they both picked a save. Especially Joe, because Joe could have gotten anything. He could have got put to the torch if he wanted. But now they know because he had the extra put to the sword in hand, he's used up one of Ben's risen from the sea. So as far as Joe's concerned, he's got a risen in hand. Ben might not have any more. That could make him more vulnerable.
I think we've got a slight problem here though for Joe in that Ben does have Dampy on the board. And, you know, as fast as Joe can kill characters off, as long as Dampy's still alive, he just brings them back again. So I imagine that Ben will just be focused on making sure Damphair doesn't die. You know, like Theon, he took Theon for claim because it didn't matter because he could just bring him back after he'd won Dom. So that's where Ben's got a bit more of an advantage here, where Joe will kill a character and lose that character, Ben's are going to be coming back still. Plus that difficult start for Joe as well.
Yeah, that was a really poor hit to his tempo, that start.
I mean, bad draws happen, right?
Yep.
He's bound to get one at some point.
You don't want them in the final.
No.
Did he mulligan?
He did. He's not going to set that up.
I was going to say. But that's the danger when you mulligan.
Oh, apparently he had to mulligan. But I don't know if it would have been any better than what he set up.
I don't think you can get much worse than 2 gold.
I've had a 0 card setup before.
Yeah, I remember that.
I couldn't believe it. All events and attachments in hand, but all attachments to my own characters. So it's just like, this is going absolutely nowhere. And that was after the mulligan. Definitely one of my worst games. Joe here really needing to think a minute about his plot choice here. He's going for We Take Westeros into Forced March.
Want his Iron Mind back?
Possibly. I think he might have been trying to go for the initiative. But because of Ben's Salty Navigator, although they tie initiative, the Salty Navigator makes Ben win. So Ben, of course, choosing himself to go first. And the Forced March kneeling out all of Joe's military icons.
I mean, I really, really think Forced March and Sea of Blood is an issue.
Yeah?
It would not surprise me if they both hit the restricted list at some point in the summer. Because, yeah, those two together is just a fairly straightforward. I mean, he neutralised 2 of Joe's big characters with a salty yeah.
A salty what?
A salty man. And now he got his own dude standing.
You think Forced March is a little bit overpowered regardless of the deck, or just especially in Sea of Blood?
I like it, but with Sea of Blood, it's just very, very strong. It doesn't feel too bad, but when they play it, the second Forced March, you start thinking, why wasn't it limit 1?
Maybe it'll get errated. We've not really had any errated cards, have we yet?
We've had a few. To go forward, you must go back. Balon Greyjoy got errated before it even came out.
Really?
Yeah. So, there's been a few instances. And the other one with the Driftwood Cudgel. Because as worded, you could just bounce it every character on a reset.
It looks like Ben's got a card in shadows there. Oh, Euron.
Huh. Well then. Euron with Stealth. Seems good. He's going to want to nail that long ship. Yep. Can he vince it? He can't vince it.
He was having a look though, wasn't he?
Yeah. That must feel good for Joe, knowing that he doesn't have the vince. Because you would definitely vince that. Because that raiding longship was going to win you the Sea of Blood trigger.
Yeah. What boats you got out there? Is that,
Hulk.
That's it, refurbished Hulk. I keep thinking JT Drummond every time I see it, and I know it's not. It just pops into my head, and then I can't get the actual word in.
Have you been taking your pills, Rebecca?
What old man? Okay, so it looks like we're getting... Ooh, so it was a card in shadows. Which one? The Ghost. Ghost? I keep thinking Ghost Ship, and that's just a film.
Go to the dog.
I know it's a dog. What's the name of the thing?
Grey Ghost.
It is Ghost! Ha! I know it had Ghost
it's not
in it.
Ghost, it's Grey Ghost.
Well, yes, but it had Ghost in the name. And this is where if it comes out of shadows, you can choose... Is it like 2 characters that can't defend this round? Or if it's not just come out of shadows, then you can just choose the 1 character that can't defend this round. And as Joe only has 1 character standing, Joe's not defending this round. So the military coming through. He's going to win by 5 and get that trigger off. So we've got the put to the sword there being taken with the Sea of Blood trigger. And I imagine that's going to come out straight away. Who are we killing? Or will it? Unless he's got another put to the torch. He might put up the iron mines first.
We do know that Joe has another rhythm from the sea, right?
Oh my gosh. So put to the torch on the iron mines. Where's the put to the sword going? Who would you kill off here, Balon or Euron?
Euron.
Yeah.
He's standing. That hurt Joe's ability to even attempt anything on the comeback.
So he's put to the sword on Euron, and Joe isn't just taking him off the board, which, you know...
We know he got the ridden. He tutored for it. The question is if he used it, and then Valar Morghulis happened, Ben may have another ridden in hand and will come out of it better, possibly.
Yeah.
Joe won't. He's already tried to use the Iron Mine twice and it's been discarded twice. He's already used one ridden. If he uses the second one, he has fewer saves for Valar Morghulis. And we know there are probably going to be 2 in this game if it drags out.
So it's a bit of a tricky choice for him, isn't it, really? I mean, he wants to get Euron in a challenge on the way back.
Yeah, I think Joe maybe need to save him here.
Oh, but he's not.
And
then actual claim.
I mean, Ben doesn't appear to have that much in hand anymore. He's been playing extra events, including the one he's tutored with Sea of Blood.
Yeah.
I think I'd be tempted to keep Euron, maybe Intrigue. Try and clear out his hand.
Instead of the military?
Yeah, because he can't win the Sea of Blood trigger on military with Theon still stood.
Oh, right.
So clear out his hand, but then maybe that forces Ben into you win or you die to claim and gets loads of cards back. And possibly Joe's not ready for that yet. Hard choice.
So in letting Euron die, do you feel like he's sort of advertising a Valar here? Or maybe deliberately advertising a Valar here?
Possibly.
Be interesting to see what Ben plays to retaliate to this. He might be tempted to play We Take Westeros himself if he's got it, to steal the iron mines. He could go first, take the iron mines, and then use that.
It's a good anti-Valar play, yeah.
Yeah.
He could just play you win or you die.
A little bit risky.
Yeah, if you had the save in hand, then it's fine. You draw 2 more cards, and you get 2 claim to your opponent's 0 claim.
True.
And then you can just play a draw plot next turn if you have one. I don't even know if Greyjoy Sea of Blood plays a draw plot. Might not need to.
I guess you're getting extra cards anyway, aren't you, from the triggers?
From the economy and draw agenda.
Yeah. Took me a second to talk what you were saying then for some reason. Oh, okay. So yeah, we take Westeros, possibly as a potential anti-Valar tech there. But Joey, they're playing Force March. He might have been trying to take the initiative, but unfortunately for him, the Salty Navigator again wins out for Ben. And he's choosing not to use the reaction on Force March to any of his own characters. Not really worth it, I guess.
Nah, like to Neil Theon, not worth. Yeah, that Salty Seaman doing some work there. Actually, you say that, Joe's got a refurbished Hulk.
Oh, and Joe's going first.
So Joe obviously was first player.
Oh, because he's got the Hulk.
I mean, it even says first player on the power token that you did.
Yeah. I only did like 3 games in a row. So...
What's he got? He's marshalled
Oh.
at Vince.
He must have shit in hand.
Well, he obviously doesn't have
Characters.
anything that he can put on the board and then cancel something with Vince and then put Vince onto the board.
Because you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
You'd put anything onto the board apart from Vince.
Oh.
I mean, he could have afforded it. He had enough gold and economy of the Great Halls, so... Yeah. He mustn't have any other characters, I guess. It's a bit sad.
Oh dear. Yeah, he's struggling because he's low on cards. His board day's not as good as Ben's. And he's behind on the board, behind on in the hand. Even his backboard, it's not bad. That Golden Storm he got out.
Yes.
That's an interesting dynamic here. Because as it stands, Ben cannot stop the Sea of Blood trigger now from Balon.
Unless he milks him or something.
And he's not even going to try and defend with Golden Storm, otherwise that kill gets an extra kill. I mean, if Ben tried to defend a military and loses, then Golden Storm kills a character, maybe put to the sword kills a character.
Ooh.
Well, that's an entirely different proposition.
So that's a Victarion.
That is, and now Ben can stop the Sea of Blood trigger. Because Victarion's 7 strength, Ben can boost to 8 with the boat. Balon can only get to
8.
8. Actually.
Because it'd be 6 with the Risen on him, plus the boots 2 for the Iron Fleet Scout.
Oh yeah, so Joe might as well just carry on going for it. Because then if Ben defends with Victarion, 8 to 8, he can kill him with Golden Storm.
Yeah.
But he does have an Iron Mine.
He does.
But then he could
And
get to put the sword.
Also has a Dampy.
He does have a damp P.
You alright?
Yeah. I'm alright.
So, as we predicted, military with Balon. And the only person here that might be able to defend is Victarion. And if Victarion does defend, Joe can just attempt at least to kill him. It's nice when a person walks by the table because you get a brief glimpse of what's on Ben's side.
Yes, this is not an ideal scenario. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. It's my fault.
It's always your fault.
Because I moved the camera from that side of the table to this side of the table because someone kept knocking it. Someone knocked it off the table.
Someone knocked it off the table?
Yep.
Who did that?
I can't remember.
You can remember, and you're saving them from getting kicked in the shins.
So what I did
That's
is
about
I
as high
just
as I can
moved it to
reach.
the other side of the table, but unfortunately that...
Cause the glare.
Yes.
You should know by now that there's a reason behind my madness.
Really?
Yeah, I put the camera in certain places to try and avoid things like glare.
See, this is just the difficulties, the vagaries and the vicissitudes of recording games.
What's the
It's just so difficult.
vicissitude mean?
Vicissitudes.
I've never heard that before.
It's like unfortunate consequences, that kind of thing.
Oh. How'd you say it again?
Vicissitudes.
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 Getting an English lesson.
I'm pleased you are familiar with vagaries.
Thanks.
So, stuff happened.
Yeah, so Ben has defended with Victarion. And deciding to use the Risen on him.
Yeah, he's used Golden Storm to kill Victarion, which had been saved with the Iron Mines.
But this is good because using the Risen means that Victarion is now high enough strength that next turn he will also be able to defend against Balon.
But now Ben's vulnerable to Valar again. They both are.
Yeah.
Neither of them are going to play Valar next turn, are they?
Be interesting to see if either of them do. So getting the intrigue through there, I think. And using Victarion's ability to restand him.
Victarion is just so strong. I mean, perhaps when the designers designed Victarion, they thought, you know what, warships don't exist. We need to make him better, and we need to make people play him. So let's give him 7 strength and no limit. And then suddenly they printed more warships, and now it's just kind of trivial. He is very, very strong.
Do you think he's better than the old Victorian?
I do. He's stronger. He can stand himself, which is better than intimidating one person. He can stand himself a lot, give himself a noun, and the cherry on top is the fact that you can just know your opponent's location. Any location.
I always forget that bit.
Yeah, most people do. Like, well, Winterfell's not a problem anymore.
Still gives a plus strength, right?
It does, but one of the best things about it is it completely negates Sea of Blood.
Ooh, what's that?
Torch the Golden Storm.
Ugh, that's not Torch.
We did not say so. And we have a death.
Yeah. So Vince there in the dead pile, which isn't a terrible thing, but
so did
there's
Ben
no one to kill anymore.
Not have any more put to the swords?
I don't know.
We've seen 2.
Maybe he thought the Golden Storm was more important to get rid of.
Or have we seen 3? I think we've seen 2.
I feel like we've seen 2.
I think, is this the 3rd round?
Yes. Because we had Late Summer Feast, We Take Westeros, and Forced March from Joe.
Cool. I believe.
Good. This is where someone comments and is like, no, Rebecca, you fucked up.
You lied!
Round.
You lied to us all!
It's mostly aimed at Richard.
Interesting. What do they do now?
Yeah, I mean, Joe is not in a good position here.
Joe needs cards. I wouldn't be surprised if he went along the lines of you win or you die.
Yeah.
You get some emergency cards. You need some emergency characters out there. And the 2 claim put a bit of pressure on Ben. But Ben Grey Ghost is going to...
He's already causing heaps of trouble. But they've both chosen their plots, and we have got a Valar into Win or You Die.
Well
so
then.
You'd assume Ben goes first, and probably triggers his... No? When you trigger the Win or You Die first.
Yeah, see if you can find a rhythm from the sea.
Yeah. Seems slightly bizarre.
Joe had another rhythm.
Oh, good for Joe.
Is that the same rhythm from... I think it was.
Possibly. That's 2 rhythms on Balon now, right?
What survived?
Not 100% sure, unfortunately.
Looks like Asher.
Might be Asher.
I can faintly see a figure holding up a cup.
Just need someone to walk past the table again, right?
Thing is, right, is that is Asher, and Joe's in trouble. So Asher must have had a dupe.
There is that possibility.
I don't think Joe has any other option, really. He could you win or you die, but I think that just prolongs the inevitable.
I do still find it slightly strange that Ben didn't draw his 2 cards before the Valar. Unless he knew that he didn't have any more rhythms.
You'd still trigger yours anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Just for, the fact that you're controlling everything. I don't mind off there.
Maybe just forgot. It's been a long day. It's 5 rounds and then top 8, top 4, final. So it's 8 games in. And did he fly over from Ireland?
He did. Yeah, because he was going to Thrones War for the following weekend. You'd think that he would practice his Targaryen deck, but he didn't.
So it looks like he's put out another Salty Navigator. Joe there getting an Iron Mines out and a second Iron Mines out. Oh, wow. That's not so good.
Fold the arms. He needed that because Balon won't die now.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as we know, Ben used up 2 Rhythms, he used up a We Do Not Sow, he used up 2 Torches. He hasn't had an Isle of Ravens on the board that I've seen.
I think he does at some point comment about his lack of Isle of Ravens.
Yeah, so his options are probably quite limited. I don't think Sea of Blood won less than 6th event. But I don't think I've seen them run many more than 10 or 11. So his option maybe for the Sea of Blood trigger could be limited.
In which case, surely he'd just go for the power then, right? Oh, well then Joe doesn't actually have anything on his faction card to take. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, I mean, I guess from Ben's side, is it worth trying to win the military by 5 and therefore get another trigger? Or do you get the unopposed power, unopposed military and just accept whatever Joe throws back at him?
One thing he doesn't want to do is lose it on the comeback, but he will regardless.
Yeah, he can't not lose the challenge from Balon because Balon's
there's no
strength.
claim, but if Joe's got sword. See, no one likes playing against Sea of Blood, right? But you have to admit, the mirrors are kind of fascinating. It's disgusting both ways, but it is kind of.
I do feel like we've just spent half an hour watching 2 Greyjoy Sea of Blood decks punch each other in the face to see who stops first. But yeah, the start certainly didn't help Joe.
Yeah, he'd been fighting from behind the whole time, I think.
He's doing a good job though. He's stuck in there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the power totals start reflecting that. I wonder what Ben's thinking of taking.
I wonder what he's got left. No, he does have a 3rd Rhythm, which makes it more confusing why he didn't trigger his own plot. But whatever. You see, he got those nice Greyjoy tokens from Worlds.
They are pretty.
They're pretty. Asher pillages.
Did she just pillage the iron mines?
Doubt it.
Oh no, I think he used the iron mines. So Joe here doing the military because at least he can trigger the Sea of Blood.
He could.
And maybe do something.
I don't think he's got any Rhythm. I might have a Rhythm left. He's only used 2. Or he might get sword. Kill Asher. Can't see an Iron Mind on Ben's board. That could be. Could be
good.
I don't think he's got one.
Oh.
He hasn't got one. Ah.
But getting rid of the Grey Ghost to be good. Because that's been a pain in the butt.
I mean, a put to the sword there could have won him the game. Because that kills Asher. It's a Salty Navigator against Balon. And then... Oh! Oh!
Ah!
Oh!
Oh,
Yeah,
we
knew
just
Ben had
found it. Yeah.
Amazing how much difference a hand judgment would have made in this game for either player.
Yeah. So Joe taking unopposed and Renown. And we can see a Vince there in the discard pile. So that is definitely the best place for a Vince. Not the dead part, not your hand. Just stick him in the discard, we don't need him.
I think that's really interesting.
What is?
Well, he was obviously hoping that Joe would play something worth cancelling. Yeah, fold the arm. But because why not Marshal Vince instead of the Navigator?
True.
Could have done Intrigue Challenge.
Poor Joe. He thought he'd won the initiative there.
And this is what we're saying about the double forced march. Just brutal.
I think that's his game.
I don't even know what Ben's Marshal. I don't think it matters.
Well, he's marshalled something that's let him go through his deck, so that might be the Iron Victory.
Oh yeah, the Iron Victory.
Oh, or is it
Euron.
Euron.
Because he got the silence.
Silence, yeah.
GG, my friend.
Well, as Joe has no standing characters, I think you might be right.
I am right. I'm convinced of it.
And there's only 2 minutes left of the game.
And I was there when this game happened. So, so yeah. Sorry, Joe. Commiserations. He fought valiantly from that start.
Yeah, considering the start, he did very, very well.
But ultimately, you got what every Greyjoy Sea of Blood player deserves.
Hush! Oh no!
Oh wow.
Has he got a third? Another Iron Mines. Oh wow. So it's the Iron and Fishmongers against the world. Pretty sure that Joe is about to get stomped on. So let's see the stomping. And intrigue. Go on, just get your little Vince out.
Give me.
Well, Vince in the dead pile, right? Vince,
Is that what he calls it?
apparently.
My little Vince.
Couldn't he have got Vince out then? Killed a... Oh, hello.
Who? Joe.
Yeah. Vince was in the dead pile.
Then
Maybe
yeah.
he just wanted to use him. So is that Iron Victory?
It is the Iron Victory.
And intimidating the Fishmonger. Power stealthing the Iron Islands Fishmonger. And that's unopposed and claim. And that's the game. So
Congratulations, Ben.
congratulations, Ben. Commiserations, Joe. Thanks as always to all of our patrons for supporting the channel. And thank you to all of you for watching it. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by going to patreon.com/The White Walkers.
And I'm sure Rebecca will get the next videos out super quick.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Promise.
Uh,
Deal.
yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.